All right, so let's get right into it. You're a founder, you build something amazing, it starts to take off, and then suddenly nothing. It just stops. Sound familiar? Well, today we're going to break down a really powerful 5-step framework from Jason Cohen. This guy's built 2 unicorn companies, so he knows his stuff, and it's all about figuring out exactly why your product's growth has hit a wall.
Is your product's growth slowing down? Does it feel like you're just running through mud? You're putting in all this work, right? But it's just not having the same impact it used to. If that's you, you are definitely not alone. It's one of the most painful, frustrating things a founder can go through. But here's the good news. There's a systematic way to diagnose and fix it.
So here's the diagnostic framework. It's 5 questions. And listen, the order here is absolutely critical. You have to tackle these one by one. You find a problem at step 1, you fix that before you even think about moving to step 2. Why? Because if you don't, anything you do later on just, well, it won't matter. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a giant hole in it. So let's start right at the top.
All right, question number 1, and this one is, without a doubt, the most important. Are your customers leaving? In the startup world, you'll hear this called Logo Churn. Fancy term, but it just means customers are canceling. And let me be clear, this is the worst problem you can possibly have. It's a flashing red light telling you that you're not delivering on your promise to them.
I mean, just think about it for a second. Think about the crazy gauntlet a customer has to go through just to give you their money. They had to hear about you somewhere, find your website, actually click on it, not immediately leave, get over the sticker shock on your pricing page, sign up, and then struggle through your onboarding process. And after all of that, for them to just turn around and say, "Nah, I'm out." Wow, that means something is fundamentally, deeply broken.
And here's where the cold, hard math comes in. Churn, it's like a governor on your engine. It puts a hard mathematical ceiling on how big your company can ever get. See, as you get more customers, the number of people canceling every month goes up and up. But your marketing, that doesn't usually scale up in the same way. This simple formula right here, it shows you exactly where that ceiling is.
Let's make this super concrete. Imagine you're signing up 100 new customers every single month. That feels pretty good, right? But you have a 5% monthly churn rate. Well, with those numbers, your company will never have more than 2,000 customers, ever. As you get closer to that 2,000 mark, you're basically just running in place. You sign up 100 people, and 100 people cancel. Growth just stops. It's not a guess, it's a mathematical certainty.
So okay, how do you fix this leaky bucket? The key is getting better feedback. Now, the natural thing to do is ask, why did you cancel? The problem is, you get lazy, unhelpful answers like, too expensive. But here's a little trick. Just change one single word. Instead of why, ask what made you cancel. See the difference? It forces people to tell you a story, to pinpoint a specific event or a feature that failed them. It's amazing. A company called Groove literally doubled their useful responses, going from 10% to 20% just by changing that one word. Okay, so to wrap up churn, here's your action plan. First, you've got to dig past those easy surface-level answers. If someone says it's too expensive, don't believe them. They already paid for it once. That's not the real reason. Second, you need to get proactive. Find customers who are struggling before they hit the cancel button. Look for signs of trouble. And third, if you're feeling overwhelmed and don't know where to start, just focus on onboarding. Seriously, tiny little improvements in that first experience can have massive, massive ripple effects on keeping customers around for the long haul.
Okay, so let's say you've plugged the leaky bucket. Your churn is under control. We can now move on to question 2. And this is a big one. Is your pricing just wrong? Because here's something most people miss. Your price tag isn't just about revenue. It's a powerful signal. It's a filter that literally selects the type of customer you attract.
I love this quote from Patrick Campbell. This guy's company has pricing data on thousands of startups, so when he speaks, you should listen. He says, your prices are way too low because you just guessed and you haven't changed them. And he's right. Most founders are absolutely terrified of raising their prices. But what if that fear is the very thing that's holding your growth back?
This is going to sound totally backwards, but stick with me. Low prices don't attract everyone. In fact, for big companies, a cheap price is a huge red flag. A $100 a month tool doesn't look like a great deal. It looks like a flimsy toy that's going to break. It signals low quality, and they won't even consider it. So by raising your prices, you can actually start attracting a much better, more serious customer. And believe it or not, your signups could actually go up.
Let me share a quick story that just drives this point home. It's about a company with a product that makes Google Ads more efficient. Now, their first idea for a pitch was pretty logical. We'll have your ad costs. Makes sense, right? It's all about saving the customer money. Okay, so with that pitch, a customer spending, say, 40 grand a month on ads might pay them 5 grand to save 20 grand. Not bad. But then they had a brilliant idea. What if they repositioned the exact same product? Instead of saving money, what if they promised to double your leads for that same ad spend? Now think about that. A customer who values those leads enough to spend $40K to get them, well, they'd probably be willing to spend another $40K to get twice as many, right?
And here it is, the punchline. Same product, same technology, just a different way of talking about it. By selling growth, which is what businesses truly deeply value, instead of just saving a few bucks, they could charge 8 times more. 8! It's a perfect example that pricing isn't just a number, it's about the value you're promising.
All right, moving on. Your churn is low, your pricing is dialed in. Now for question 3, are your existing customers actually growing with you? Are they spending more over time? Because this is your secret weapon. Expansion revenue from the customers you already have is the only force strong enough to create a tailwind that completely overpowers the headwind of churn.
The metric you need to be obsessed with here is called net revenue retention, or NRR. It sounds complicated, but the idea is simple. You take all the customers you had exactly 1 year ago. Then you look at how much money that same exact group is paying you today. It's the ultimate health score because it includes everything: the customers who upgraded, the ones who downgraded, and the ones who left completely.
This little chart here breaks it down perfectly. So, in this example, you see you lost 5% of your revenue to churn, and another 2% from people downgrading their plans. That's a 7% loss, a headwind. But look at this. You gain 26% from other customers upgrading or buying more. So you do the math, and your NRR is 119%. That means your existing customer base isn't just staying, it's growing all on its own. That's the tailwind we're talking about.
And just so you know how important this is, the median net revenue retention for a public SaaS company when it goes for its IPO is 119%. Think about that. This isn't just some nice-to-have metric. It's basically a requirement for building a massive, sustainable company. If your NRR is under 100%, it's a slow-motion battle where churn is guaranteed to win in the end.
Okay, on to question 4. This is for when everything inside your business looks great. Churn is low, pricing is right, NRR is strong, but growth is still slowing down. What gives? Well, it might be time to look outside your own 4 walls. The question becomes, have your marketing channels just run out of gas? Has your engine for getting new customers simply run out of road? You know, marketers love to talk about the S-curve for channels, where performance kind of grows, then flattens out. But the reality is often more like what Jason Cohen calls an elephant curve. It goes up, it peaks, and then it starts to sag and decline. Think of an elephant's back. The audience gets tired of your ads, the platform algorithm changes, whatever it is, you have to operate under one core assumption. Every single marketing channel will eventually die.
So what does that mean? It means you can't just keep squeezing the same lemon hoping for more juice. You have to actively hunt for new ways to grow. Look at Constant Contact. They jump-started their growth by doing old-school in-person workshops. Or HubSpot. They unlocked a whole new level of growth by partnering with marketing agencies. The answer isn't always more ads. Sometimes it's a new channel, a new partner, or maybe even a whole new product for the audience you already have.
And that brings us to the final question, number 5. And honestly, this one is the most philosophical. It's the tough one. If you've gone through all 4 of these steps, you've tried everything, and growth is still stalled, you have to take a step back and ask yourself a really fundamental question. Do you actually need to grow right now?
Okay, so let's do a super quick recap of everything we covered today. Number 1, churn is your enemy. Calculate your company's maximum size to see how badly it's hurting you, and fix that leak first. 2, your price is your gatekeeper. Stop selling cost savings and start selling growth. You'll attract better customers and make more money. 3, get your net revenue retention over 100%. It's the only way to build a growth engine that can fight off churn forever. 4, every marketing channel dies. Accept it, and always be looking for the next one. And finally, number 5, ask the hard question. Be intentional. Is stagnation a business problem, or is it a personal choice? You know, there's that old saying in business, if you're not growing, you're dying. We hear it all the time. But maybe we need to flip that question around. If your company's growth has stopped, and you've tried everything and it just can't be restarted, is the real problem that the company is dying? Or is it that you, the founder, are dying a little inside? And maybe, just maybe, it's time to start thinking about your next chapter.